Now let's head to the crypto space. Now let's have the top stories at this time. Some interesting news coming right there. First of all, I can tell you Ethiopia is to start mining Bitcoin through new data. The Ethiopian government, there you have it. Interesting, Ethiopia to start mining Bitcoin. And the Ethiopian government is said they will begin mining Bitcoin through a new partnership with Data Center Servers, which is a subsidiary of West Data Group. According to Ethiopia-based mining company, the CEO, Kal Kasa. The partnership was announced by the country's sovereign wealth fund, Ethiopian Investment Holdings. And then they're saying that under the collaboration, the sovereign wealth fund will invest $250 million in establishing cutting-edge infrastructure for data mining and artificial intelligence training operations in the country. Casa says that the deal includes setting up Bitcoin mining operations using Canaan Avalon miners, and it's part of the country's broader strategy to leverage its technological and energy resources to attract international investment and foster economic growth. However, the government is yet to confirm this and did not respond to some of the requests. So we'll be watching that space to see where this leads. And still, of course, talking about the headlines there, nearly 60% of coins listed on CoinMarketCap died in 2023. This is a new research conducted by AlphaQuest and shows that among 12,343 crypto projects investigated, over 8,850 have become default in the past year. Could that mean a loss of investment? Well, it's a question that a lot of investors are asking about that. But let's go back to the numbers now and see the price of Bitcoin. Yesterday we were celebrating 51,000. Today we're not celebrating 51,000. Today we have 51,915.67 after it dropped 0.63%. Could that be a quick profit taken by some investors? Ethereum is, however, still in the green, 0.81%, 2,814.60. BNB, XRP, Cardano are still in the green. Solana has dropped also. Let's see the full. There you have. Well, it's still a greedy market. That's part of the reason why we've lost some of that. Some investors have decided to make the most of this greed at this time. But as we always say, you need to customize your decisions. You don't take a decision because another investor is taking those decisions, because when did you get into the market? What was the number there? And these are the things that you have to check. So there you have Bitcoin down 0.63%, Ethereum in the positive, as well as the others, Cardano and XRP in the positive. Now let's have Solomon Amunde join us. Perhaps he can tell us where almost 1% went on Bitcoin from one day to the next. Hi, Solomon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ini.
Yeah, so this was a quick profit taking on Bitcoin. I guess is expected.
Yeah, it's very, very expected. We have a huge sell-off volume at around $52,000 and $53,000. So that's just what we're seeing play out, basically.
So is it just profit taking? There's no news that's driving it, and we don't expect anything.
So obviously, we have lots of bullish news in the market. We have most of the banking associations trying to press on the SEC to be able to let banks to be able to be custodians when it comes to holding these assets too. We have that as a bullish news in the market. But that aside, we've had a very, very long rally on the price of Bitcoin, and OG traders are being quite sentimental that we must have approached the top of this particular mini bull market. So we're not expecting much upside, basically. Rather, we're expecting consolidation and gradual correction for Bitcoin.
So what's happening to Bitcoin ETF?
Yeah, the ETFs have been gaining traction and lots of volume. They've been easily hitting over $1 billion volume daily. And we have, like I said earlier, lots of banks that want a piece of this pie. So we have lots of positive sentiments around the Bitcoin ETF. And we're looking at them, and we're also expecting basically more companies to file for Bitcoin ETF and to also gain approval. And also banks, which is very, very bullish. Once the banks, they get the approval to be custodians to these assets, that would bring in more liquidity to the market and lots of hype too.
And then we see that also the Chinese New Year also had a hand to play in the movement of Bitcoin price.
Yeah, the Chinese New Year helped to foster the first initial move we had from around $40,000, $41,000. And it gave us that desired boost to about $48K before the whole ETF narrative kicked in again and we started seeing huge volume. And I would say the recession, the news of recession in UK has also helped push some liquidity to Bitcoin too. So we have some persons looking for assets that can be able to give them good return on investments. So they are also trying to buy some of these Bitcoins and they're also exploring the ideas of the ETF. So I also believe that's why we're seeing more transaction volume on the ETF.
What about here in Nigeria? What's happening? I did see a report where, some people were giving some advice about, how to get your investments out. With CBN being so busy, I've not really seen a circular on cryptocurrency, but what's the space looking like at this time?
Drawing a bit from what's happening in the US, where the banks, they are pressing the SEC to come up with a new definition of crypto, which would allow them to be custodians. I feel in Nigeria we need something similar. We need a holistic overview of the crypto assets, and we need to come up with a separate framework that we can use to monitor this asset and treat this asset. That way, the government can be able to benefit more in terms of tasking this asset and have a piece of what is happening in the ecosystem. Because right now, the government is actually missing out on a whole lot. And they can only find a way in when we come up with better definition and a better framework to regulate these assets that would favor both the investors and also the players in the ecosystem.
Stories like Ethiopia, having new partners on Bitcoin mining, that should also be a motivation, for Nigeria to look, perhaps we're missing out on some of this revenue we're looking for.
Yeah, we're missing out on a whole lot. We're missing out on hundreds of millions of dollars running into billions of dollars. So there's a whole lot, like I said, that the government can make in the whole crypto ecosystem. There's a whole lot. They need to redefine it and they need to open it up for investors and also we, the stakeholders in the ecosystem. There's a whole lot we can do, but we have limited capacity and the laws are not favorable right now. So that's why everyone is being very skeptical.
I don't know if the CBN can create time for crypto space at this time because the CBN is very busy trying to deal with the value of the Naira. We see it in spite of all of the intervention and updates on the policies. We still see the Naira dropping. So I don't know if this would be a good time for the CBN to look at cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I believe it's the best time for them to look at it because while the Naira is crashing, most persons are falling back to cryptocurrencies too. And most persons are using cryptocurrencies as a hedge for the falling Naira. So I feel it's extremely important right now for the CBN to look into cryptocurrency and blockchain because like it or not, people are turning away and looking for ways so that they can be able to hedge their assets. And most persons are turning towards cryptocurrencies. So I believe the CBN should take this very, very seriously.
All right. Well, we hope they hear and they think about it. If it's a priority, they'll follow up. But what do you see happening to the coins, Bitcoin and the others over this weekend?
Yeah, so Bitcoin has had an amazing rally. And right now it's comfortably sitting at around $51,500. We have a support at $53K. So what I'm expecting basically is we should consolidate at the current price. And afterwards, we should see a slow correction. But I'm not expecting that to happen this weekend. Neither am I expecting it to happen aggressively this month. I'm expecting that from first week of next month.
So what would you say should be investors' stance at this time? Watch or make a move?
Any investor buying right now is late, in my own opinion. Any investor buying now is late. We're already at the climax. So investors should have some patience and wait to see some retracement in the Bitcoin price, at least to the range of 40K and below. Then investors can begin to DC into these assets. Because even those that got in based on ETF, they got in at better prices. And the first buyers of these ETFs are already in profit.
You think Bitcoin will go to 40 again in any recent times?
Yeah, I'm 100% positive that Bitcoin will still go back to $40,000 and even below. Yeah, 100% positive on that.
Wow. All right, we'll watch and see. Solomon Amunde, thank you so much for your thoughts this afternoon.
Thank you very much.